All right, here I am. I'm going to begin section 3. You may notice that I am actually using the game file that I had uploaded onto the Google Classroom just to kind of help any student that may not have successfully gotten to section 3. It's all right. Let's go ahead and just keep moving on from here. So, the next thing we are going to do in this game is we are going to create the boss sprite objects. This section should be a bit of a review. So the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to create the boss object. And so two different ways you could do this. I don't have any of my menus up, so I might go to project or view bars. The project bar is the one that goes on the right. I'm going to make that Skinner and then skinnier, and then it was the properties bar. We haven't used the tile bar, so I'm not going to turn it on yet. Here we go. Okay, so in order to create a new object, I can either right click right here. Oh, that didn't do anything. I could either double click. Oh, yeah, you can add new object type, or you could simply double click in the background. So I'm going to go to Sprite, and I'm going to name this my boss. And remember, you get this crosshair, click anywhere, and here we go. So when we open up the animations editor, we're going to resize this to be 120 by 120. So that was these two arrows that go outwards, 120 by 120. Sweet. Click OK to save. Design 3 different boss frames. So we're going to fight this boss 3 different times. So let's see. Gosh, the creativity here. I feel like on the spot pressure right now. Let's make. So I really enjoy the brush tool because I think it's just easier for me. So it looks like I will make something along the lines of this. He wants to be menacing. So let me fill this in. No, let's undo that last one. This is the oh, that's rotate. Undo. I think it'd be cool if all my boss objects had a different color here. And for right now, I'm going to come back in the end and probably make these guys way cooler. But for now, let's just do this. And so pink, I'll do a little something like green. And then this one will be blue. Bing! Those are my 3 bosses. All right. And what we're going to do is we're going to set boss image points. So it looks like, to begin, select a frame and click on the image points button. So I'm going to start with frame 0, and I'm looking for an image point button. I think this is me recreating the origin. So, oh, there we go. So you're going to click on this button right here, and the origin is going to be where your bullets spawn from. And so probably you would like it to be in the center. And then this is really cool. Then go right click on the origin point from the menu. So right now this is just my origin on frame 1. But if I change this, I could apply to the whole animation. And you'll see that now your origin is the same place for all 3. So that's pretty cool. Remember, your origin is going to be where the boss bullets originate from. Set boss collision polygons. Okay, so to ensure that our boss is able to effectively hit our player, we need to customize its collision polygons. We can accomplish this by clicking the collision polygon button and then right-clicking on the image. So we did this in the first section, and now we get to practice those skills again. So I kind of forgot. Let's see, we can accomplish this by clicking the collision polygon. So that's this one. So right now, what this polygon is saying is that as soon as like our enemy bullets hit anywhere on this square, it's going to count as a hit. But we only want to hit our boss. So what we're going to do is we could do two different things. We could either try and shape it, or if you right click and say guess the polygon shape, you're going to get a pretty decent one. If you double click on one of the squares, it will create you a new square. So it might not be perfect, but it's looking pretty good. And now, finally, right-click again on the image frame and select Apply to the whole animation. So I right-clicked on your Chromebooks, that'll be a 2-finger double click, and we're going to do Apply to the whole animation. This helps save time in setting the same collision polygons for the other 2 frames. Oh, I wish I would have known that a while ago. Cool. Next section, position the boss off screen. Bing. So as all the other guys, just move him off screen. Our boss object is complete. Go ahead and close the animations editor to make sure our boss sprite isn't on screen, blah, blah, blah. And create the boss bullet object. So we're going to create a new bullet, and that's going to be a sprite. If you're like me, I always forget to name them. So what you could do right here is, that's your empty sprite. You could right click and go to rename, and this is going to be boss bullet. And now we'll resize, those are those outwards arrows, 18 by 18. And we're going to create 3 different frames. So I want all my boss to be yellow. You'll go to duplicate, duplicate, bing. And of course, we're going to position this off screen as well. Save your game, and that's it for this section. Now here's the thing. If you are, let's go to menu, file, save as. So if you just used this new game just to kind of get the skills down, what I'm going to do is I'm going to save as, I'll do cloud save. And I'm actually going to call this a new name. And let's say Star Defender beginning of part 3. This way it's not overwriting my last game, because I still want to like go back. Like, that was my game. I want to go back and keep working on it. So I'm just renaming this so it doesn't overwrite, and I'll probably still work on this. But you know, it's always good to have multiple files just so you can like kind of go back and use the ones that you have been working so hard on. So once you're here, and if you did use the starter code that I gave you, that's perfectly okay, but go ahead and change these icons to make them your own. Like this enemy, that's not your own, so let's go ahead and use your old skills. And so, because you've got a lot of time today, right? And so all you'll have to do is erase. At least it's got all the code for you still. And go ahead and make this is your enemy. Make yourself something really cool here. I think this is what my old enemies looked like. I had some students that were turning in some really cool things like you know what? I'm going to delete him, make copies, let's duplicate, and I'll come in and use my paint bucket. Actually, it kind of looks like I want to go with like a darker blue here, and then that lighter blue could be. And then maybe this one is in the yellows. Highlighter. And so that way, even though we were using the starter code, the game once again feels a little bit more our own. And of course, you'll want to change your player. Let me erase him. Because I missed my spaceship. It was like abducting aliens. Ah! I really don't like those tools. Ah! He's so tiny, he's like a pancake. If you want, you could change the size of your bullet. You could change how fast your player moves. You could change how fast your bullets move. Yeah. If you see, everything is good to go. Exactly where I was heading to last time, but cool. Save.